Hello students, this is your Sir Shubhadeep and today we will be learning about free fall. Now before we go into any details about this topic, let us understand what this free fall actually means. Now if an object is subjected to only the force of gravity and it is falling from a certain height, we should say that it is in free fall. That object is in free fall. Now if you drop something from a certain height, maybe from the top of your school building, if you drop a ball, the ball will fall towards the ground, right, due to the force of gravity of the earth. Now let's take a few examples to make this thing a little more clear. Let us consider a person is standing on top of a tall building. Let the height of the building be r. Let the height of this building be r. He is dropping a ball from this height. Let the mass of the ball be m. Now this ball would be subjected to the force of gravity and it will be attracted towards the ground. So the ball will be moving towards the ground at a certain velocity. Okay, now all of us knows the universal law of gravity. What was the universal law of gravity? It is force is directly proportional to the product of the masses of the object and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between these two. And this capital G was the universal gravitational constant. We have discussed these things in the last class. Now in this scenario, what are the two objects? One object is the tiny ball of mass m, right, and the another object would be the huge earth, the planet earth. So let us consider the mass of the earth being me. So if I just substitute all of these values here, capital G will remain capital G because it is the universal gravitational constant. It does not change. The value of this G always remains same. Now one of the object is m, that is the mass of the ball, and another object is me, mass of the earth. Now what will be the distance? Now the building on which the person was standing is on the surface of the earth, right? No matter how tall the building is, compared to the radius of the earth, it is negligible, right? This distance would be negligible compared to this huge radius of the earth, right? So the distance between these two objects would be the radius of the earth. So we can write it as radius of the earth square. Now also we know that force is given by mass into acceleration. So if we put this value of F here, it will be mass into acceleration. Now here the force is actually acting on the ball. So I am taking the mass of the ball here, and this A will represent the acceleration of the ball. Now as soon as you drop the ball, as soon as the person drops the ball from this height, the ball will start its motion. We know that the initial velocity just before the person started to drop that ball or let the ball go, the initial velocity was 0. Now as soon as it was let go, it was subjected to the force of gravity and it started to fall downwards. The speed of the ball will increase from 0 to 1, 2, 3, like that, right? It will keep on increasing. This is literally the definition of acceleration, right? The rate at which the velocity increases. You can see here the direction of the motion does not change as the ball is only falling towards the ground. but there will be a change in the value of the velocity as the velocity is increasing. And why is this velocity increasing? Because the ball is actually subjected to the force of gravity. Now we already know from the laws of motion that if an object is subjected to an external force F, it will be in an accelerated motion. Thus velocity of the object will increase or decrease, or the direction of motion will change, right? So if we just keep on calculating this equation that we got here, this mass would be cancelled out, right? So the acceleration of this object would be given by this equation. This acceleration is the gravitational acceleration, right? This is the acceleration produced on an object due to the force of gravity. We denote this gravitational acceleration with a small g. Now let's calculate the gravitational acceleration for our planet Earth. Let's put all of the values here. Capital G is 6.7 into 10 to the power minus 11 multiplied by the mass of Earth, that is also approximately 6 into 10 to the power 24 kg, right? Now it will be divided by the square of that radius of the Earth, and the radius of the Earth is approximately 6.4 into 10 to the power 6. Now let's calculate. We'll get the value of this small g to be 9.8. What will be the unit for this? This small g is the gravitational acceleration, and the SI unit for acceleration is meter per second square. SI unit for this one will also be meter per second square. Understood? Now that is the gravitational acceleration on the surface of the Earth. Now you can ask that, is the gravitational acceleration same for every single object that is pulled towards the surface of the Earth or the center of the Earth? The answer would be yes. Why is that? Let me explain. Now all of the objects that are lying on the surface of the Earth, if you just don't consider the celestial objects like moon, other stars, other planets, you have to just see that the mass of the Earth is huge compared to the objects, yeah, the tiny ball that is falling from the top of a building, or maybe a human being, or maybe even a big building itself. The mass of the Earth is way more compared to the those things that are lying on the surface of it, right? So basically the masses of these objects are negligible compared to that of the mass of Earth. Now to make this more clear, let me take a few examples. Let's take two objects, one of mass say 10 kg, another of mass 100 kg, and let us consider that both of these things are dropped from a same height. Let the height be h. Now this is object A, this is object B. Now let us calculate for both of this scenario. Again, like the previous example, force of gravity would be given by and also force is represented by mass into acceleration, that is 100 in this case into acceleration equal to capital G me into 100 by r square, and For object B, it will also be given by the universal law of gravity. Also, the force is given by mass into acceleration. In this case, the mass would be that of the object B, that is 10 kg into acceleration. Now, if you see both of these equations that we got, in both of the cases, the mass of the objects are cancelling themselves out. And what we will be left with is acceleration given by capital G multiplied by mass of Earth divided by radius of Earth square. In this case also, acceleration is given by capital G mass of Earth. So you can see that in both of the cases, irrespective of the mass of the objects that are being pulled towards the surface of the Earth, the acceleration due to gravity remains same only. So that is why we can say that the gravitational acceleration is approximately same throughout the surface of the Earth. And for that, we gave a special denotation to this acceleration due to gravity. This is represented by small g. And the value of small g, that is gravitational acceleration, is approximately 9.8 meter per second square. This entire phenomena of free fall was first carefully observed by Galileo Galilei. He observed that when objects are subjected to a force of gravity, they tends to accelerate. Their motion tends to accelerate, and thus this type of motions are accelerated non-uniform motion. Now, also he observed that if you take two objects of different masses and drop them from a same height, both of these objects of different masses tend to reach the ground at the same time. Now, this was all about free fall. I hope that all of you understood this topic properly. Now, still, if any one of you face any problem in any of the part of this topic, you are always welcome to contact me. Till next time, bye bye.